Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
Hello Buckeye Nation, Jeff Rash here. Welcome to the Gilmer's Coaches Show. And today I not only have the athletic director and head coach, Mr. Alan Metzel of the Gilmer Buckeyes, but I also have the two geniuses of the week with me. I've got the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator. When was the last time you were called genius, Tommy?
This first time.
First time? Is that ever?
Yeah.
This is our defensive coordinator, Tommy Edwards. Everybody knows. Tommy, how long have you been with Gilmer now?
24 years.
24 years, so no stranger to anybody in town. And then, of course, we got Brody Lipsey, our offensive coordinator. And Brody, this is year 4. This is year 4 for you, okay. So the reason we invited these guys, Alan and I were talking about it, and I said, everybody likes to talk about it after the game. Flew Ellen had a good game, or Luke Watson had a good game, and I told everybody this weekend at church, who had a good game was offense and defensive coordinators, these guys, and obviously all the coaching staff, but we can't squeeze them all in this frame. So we invited you to represent your teams, and you can call out anybody you want to, guys. But first of all, what a game.
That was an awesome game.
Was that fun or what?
They brought the energy.
They did. There was a ton of energy in the stadium. By the way, the Buckeye fans traveled huge. They brought lots of noisemakers, which was awesome, and created a great environment in the stadium. That's the best football game I've been to in a while, as far as just energy and environment. It felt like a college game, really, and certainly playoff level. But what was amazing was just you could feel the energy from the players, the aggressiveness. I mean, did you guys have a great practice? Were you anticipating that level of
I'll let you guys
energy
talk about it. Yeah, Tommy was
I thought the week of practice we emphasized the importance of. We used the term cutting the head off the snake, and we knew that the quarterback was going to be the guy, and we had to first of all be physical and win the line of scrimmage and put some pressure on him and get him to be uncomfortable. And I thought we did just that. And the practice that led up to that was the game type of situation as much as we could, and I thought we executed it to a T.
I thought so too. Would you guys all agree that was the best game they've played this year? That was all 4 quarters.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, that was you've been talking about this all year about putting. We got 3 quarters, we got 2, but that was 4 hard quarters of football, right? I think that's the best game I've seen. In fact, that's one of the best games I've seen them play maybe in a couple of years. I mean, honestly, in a few years. And what's been funny, a lot of teams have either a real strong defense or a real strong offense. And we've got a really good balance this year. It's hard to say, hey, who's the,
it's
the
a
kicker.
team.
It is.
Yeah.
It has been a
It's
whole
a
team.
Right.
Special teams done well. Turnovers. And the turnovers, I think, were like net 2 or something like that. I mean, that's not bad. But both sides of the ball have just played extremely well. What did you see specifically that you liked on the offensive side of the ball this week?
I thought we came out and we were the initiators and being the hammer, taking it to them. We kind of had an idea of what they were going to do to us.
Yeah.
And fortunate enough, we practiced that look quite a bit. I mean, majority of the week. And our guys had an awesome week in just knowing what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And, when the good on good stuff that we get amongst one another is, hands down the best thing that we do, because that's the closest thing that simulates the game.
Right.
And, the defense puts us in some stressful situations sometimes. And that goes to show on Friday nights. And I really thought our guys, that when they dealt with adversity, they forgot about it and played the next play. And, once we got on roll, I thought everybody played extremely hard. They did their job, whatever they're asked to do, and that's a testament to them. And we were talking about that earlier in our staff meeting is this team here is special in the sense of how coachable they are, how hard they play, and whatever they're asked to do, offense, defense, special teams, they don't blink an eye, and they just go do it.
That's kind of what I've been telling you about.
It is all
this
year
whole
long. We've been talking about this the whole year.
Mhm.
Is this team has such a great attitude, but a lot of it goes to the whole culture that's down here in this building. You can just feel, you can feel it.
Yes.
It's palpable. You can, I mean, you walk in this building, you feel energy. I love the energy, for example, that these young coaches are bringing
Yeah.
at the sidelines.
Absolutely.
I mean, they
Yeah.
get the crowd going.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they need a
It's
cheerleader.
oozing out all
I want to
over
hand them a
everywhere.
skirt, man. I mean, those guys really
They
get
probably wear them.
well, they probably would. That
I'd
group
have to
would.
look
I can
into
think of
that.
two of them in particular that probably would. But Tommy, what did you see? I always ask him every week, what did you see you liked? What did you see you didn't like? I'm not even going to ask this week what we didn't like because I didn't see anything not to like. What did you see defensively though? Because you guys, I thought that was. I tried to call you a couple times this week and you just ignored me. But I thought that was one of the best defense. If you watch a lot of football, and we've been watching the team for the last 20 years, obviously, when you watch a lot of football, you notice subtle differences, you know, that we don't talk about necessarily, you know, here. But I saw several differences, I thought, from the defensive scheme. So talk about what did you like there without giving away the formula?
Well, first of all, you know, just giving credit to the kids. You got a lot of kids that are playing different positions, basically doing the same thing they would at something else at their original position, but they're playing a different position.
Yeah.
And like Coach Lipsy said, didn't blink an eye. Yes, sir, let's do it. And credit to the coaches that are in that defensive office. You know, I might get this interview, but it's them.
Yeah.
It's all them. But I know going into it, like I said, we had played a lot of man going into it, and we figured that they thought we were going to be in a lot of man, so we wanted to throw some zone at them and be able to keep the scramble drill because a lot of his completions, when he gets flushed out of the pocket, the receivers do a great job of going with him. Work this week of our receivers, and if you watch the video, I mean, he usually gets on the sideline and there's one or two people open because the other team. And if you look at the video and you see there's more white jerseys on that sideline than there was green because our
he
kids
threw
were
into a
going to
lot
make
of
sure
coverage.
that he was not going to complete that little dunk pass.
Yeah.
And, you know, us just being disciplined up front. I mean, every video I watched, they jumped off, other teams jumped off sides 3 or 4 times. And I know we have in the past in other games. I never want to take the aggression away from those guys. And it all comes back on me. But I want those dudes
Firing off the line.
being aggressive and being violent. And at the same time, you know, using the term from Coach Turner, you know, I want to be poised and nasty. And that was what we were stressing this week. You want to have that poise about you, but when push comes to shove and that ball moves, you want to be nasty. It's time to get nasty. And we had seen them on video, you know, trying to be the intimidators of extracurricular after the play, and you know, and putting people on their back and just different things. But we emphasized of don't let your teammates get into that.
Yeah.
Go take him away and pull him off and go find somebody. And, you know, Coach Metzel hit on the head when he said, just run to somebody and go, and I'm going to get him next play. You know, just don't take it out on that guy. Just do it to your teammate. But, you know, at the end of the it was funny because into the fourth quarter, just watching it, you start seeing them helping our guys up and patting them on the shoulder. I mean, we talked about it in the week of using no Jedi mind trick on them.
Yeah.
And it was definitely used on them because they were a totally different group after what happened.
Well, it's like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan to get hit in the mouth. It has a way of humbling you and
it was
changing
just,
your game plan.
It was good to see the things that we were coached about, trying to keep them in the pocket and then pressing them to the sideline, getting everybody to the sideline, stopping the run, and you know, and you don't want to talk about the disappointment, but you know, just those 2 big plays. We had it made. We had 2 missed tackles on it. But those are the little things that got to go hand in hand. When you're in round 4, you can't miss tackles.
Well, you're talking about a quarterback that was touted as being, and he is very good. I mean, the guy's got the stats to back it up. He's threw 8 touchdowns in 1 game. He ran, I think, 200 yards in a couple of games. I mean, the guy's a real deal. And Todd and I talked about this in pregame the other night. We're just like, you know, keys of the game, it's always about turnovers, and it's this and it's that and that. We said there's really only one key to this game: outside containment of Townley and having somebody, a linebacker, sitting at home in case he tries to break the draw. And you guys did it, executed it perfectly. He broke one long run. If it hadn't been for that run, I think he would have been negative yards for the night, which would have been obviously, and then that gets in their head.
Right.
That third quarter rolls around, you start panicking, you make mistakes, and that's what we saw. And you guys, I tell you, the boys just never let up. I've never been more proud. I really haven't. Those guys put the hammer down, and the physicality of this game, it was more so. And I even said, I told Todd in the game, I said, I'd give anything. Watching these guys play tonight and execute as well as they did, as physical as they were on defense, I mean, slamming people. Like, it looked more like WWE than a football game at times. I even made the comment, I said, I almost wish this was Carthage across the ball from us tonight. And I know you guys want to be humble about that, and we have much respect
2 weeks
for
ago.
Scott Surratt. We have much respect for him. But I did, the aggressiveness, the intensity in which they played, it was just, man, it was incredible. It was fun to watch. As a fan, it was just a blast to watch. So I wanted to bring you guys in, and kudos, and I thought it'd be cool. We're going to go over some of the plays of the game, and you can throw it back and forth to them as you wish. This first
Absolutely.
play we're going to look at really kind of set the tone. Michael Colbert runs down on the opening kickoff and lays the wood to him, pins him inside the 20.
You bet. I'm going to circle him here on our video. Michael played on our JV earlier this year. Really good athlete, young player, and just does a phenomenal job of getting down the field and getting these guys pinned up so they start the game deep into their territory. So here he is. I've got him again. So you see him. Here he comes off the edge, keeps outside integrity, makes the tackle. Now they've got the ball on their 15-yard line.
Yeah.
That's how you want the offense to have to start the game.
Yeah, pin them deep. And you guys did that in the whole first half. It seems like they were down there inside their own 30-yard line most of the game, and which was pretty amazing. The kickoff team, we talk about how important special teams are. We spend little time talking about it. But you had this one on the opening kickoff, which you guys deferred. And then you had two other kickoffs that, they just took right and ran right out of bounds. They cut number 3,
Right.
twice runs it out of bounds. Those things are crucial, not to let them get a run back. So,
Exactly.
next play is
Just a good defensive play.
defense.
Yeah, Tommy, I'll let you kind of talk this one through. You're just going to see our D-line get good pressure, and DBs all around the ball here. So I'll let it roll and let Tommy talk about it. Here's Luke off the edge. You're going to see him beat a block and get after the quarterback.
Yeah, Luke played, his typical position's outside linebacker, but we moved him down to put his hand in the dirt. He's just a physical kid. He's got to stay on his feet more, but he does a great job of shedding the block, needs to work flat. And this is where I'm talking about as far as we pushed him to the sideline. We didn't want him to get out and get back across the field, so we knew where he was going. So we pushed him to the sideline, and usually he's only got green jerseys over there on that sideline. So we got him hemmed into the sideline with nowhere to go, and now you look, there's more white shirts there than green. I mean, the ball should have truly been picked if you want to know the truth, but that's just the sense of urgency of our guys knowing, okay, I lost contain. Well, the rest of us are just going to keep pushing him to the sideline, and then the DBs run into it also.
So this next play will be an offensive play, and let me just set this up. Ashton Haynes was the running back on the JV all year. We've had an embarrassment of riches all year long. We had a few injuries here and there along the way and some sickness, but Ashton steps up 2 or 3 weeks ago, comes in, and gets his first start, I think, last week, actually a start. He's a 15-year-old kid. This guy's a sophomore, but he runs like Earl Campbell, right? I mean, he is
Pretty
just
talented.
a beast. And he ran for like 100. Did anybody do the final numbers? Like 198.
He was over 200.
Was he over 200?
202.
202, okay. So we were trying to track it there toward the end of the game. And so we were like, oh, come on, leave him in there long enough to get that 200. But he rushed for 200 yards in round 4.
25
he
carries.
really did a great job. So let's watch that.
Let you talk about it, Brody.
Okay, I believe in this drive right here, we had them on their heels. And we were trying to just run at them, and we had a few runs inside. We saw them trying to pinch inside, and so we ran outside. And when you got guys on the edge that block like Luke right here, it's
Look at this block.
Boom! The running backs appreciate that. Whoever the ball carrier is, really appreciate that. And then, you got Dylan out here on the edge blocking. You got Rowan blocking inside. So the line do a good job of getting in the way and sealing the edge, and you just let Ashton go to work after that.
I thought the offensive line had a really good game.
It
By the
did
way, this week. It had a good. It was all over the ball. This next one is Ashton scoring, I think maybe his second varsity touchdown or something like that.
You know, this is one of our kind of bread and butter plays this year. You know, our line up front just gets a body on a body, and actually I believe it's number 10, their linebacker. I went back and watched this. He, you can see him right here. Nobody touches him, and when he sees Ashton there, he had second thoughts of tackling him. So that was a good job.
That was a good job.
He does do a good job. Now this next one is Landon Watson and getting a turnover. We talked about how important those kickoffs were.
Right.
You know, this is Landon getting down here getting a turnover.
So Landon's got to keep outside contain on our kickoff here, and he gets after it down the field. So his job, he has the rule of 21. There's got to be 21 guys inside of him, and he does that. So he stays outside leverage right there. I've got it circled. So here he comes right there. And then you're going to see him put his helmet on the ball, it fumbles, and then he jumps over there and grabs the recovery.
Yeah, so I thought that was great. So think about that. Out of the kickoffs that we had, and I guess, you know, we had, what, 6?
Mm-hmm.
6 kickoffs. 4 of them, one of them's pinned them on the 15 on the opening kickoff. You had that with a fumble recovery, and you had the other 2 that didn't get a chance to return.
Right.
I mean, that's
pretty good
critical.
average.
That's
That's
good.
net.
You'll take that every game for
Absolutely.
special teams. That was pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
This next one was just the defense making a really tough stand, which they did a couple of times in the red zone.
Tommy, I'll let you talk.
Yeah, we,
through.
you know, they just had a long run down to this point, and we knew that they like to run the ball down here to establish, you know, in the red zone. So we hoping to make a big play. We had Luke does a really good job of setting the edge. They want to run the ball inside in power. He squeezes and knocks the fullback out, and then gets off a block and makes a play for a huge loss, which you know always helps in the red zone that you get a big defensive stop right there. But just guys, you can see there's 4 or 5 shirts just waiting on him. But the main thing was he didn't go out of his way to do something else. He did his job, and he knew he had backup behind him.
Yeah, good job. There are a lot of swarming the ball, and I know y'all talk about this. Your value is your what?
The distance away from the ball that you
When the
are,
whistle's
that's your
blown,
value
how
to your
far you are.
teammates.
That's how valuable you are. This next one was critical because this was early enough in the game that it still really kind of mattered.
Right.
And they were going for a 4th and 2, and Rowan stopped them short.
We had, you know, there was one of the freeze counts there, but they like going 4th and short. They like going quarterback draw on this. So we knew we wanted to man them up. We wanted to keep as many in the box as we could for 4th and 2, and keep Rowe in the middle that's spying the quarterback. So he's really got 2 spies on him. You got the Mike backer, which is Jet, and then you got Rowe. And as soon as we got penetration inside and he had to dip it back outside, you can see Rowe flying to him as soon as he turned his shoulders up the field. Huge play, big stop.
That was huge. This next play we're going to look at is a, you know, you talked about Jet sitting over the middle, Tommy. We've talked about him quite a bit this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know how tall he is or what is he, 5'7"? Maybe is he about my size?
somewhere
What he
around there.
thinks or what?
What,
he
no, I
actually-
know what he thinks he is. I know
6'3".
he thinks he's 6'4", 240.
Yeah.
But what is he? You know,
He's met 5'9", 5'8".
this guy.
I mean, the dude's
This
a ball
guy
player.
is a
I mean,
ball player.
And the thing is, he can play any position on the field. I mean, he's the field general. He knows everything.
You know, we always talk about the lion's the king of the jungle because he thinks he is. You know, he's not the biggest. That's the elephant. He's not the tallest. That's the giraffe. He's not the fastest. That's the cheetah. The only reason he's the lion and the king is because he thinks he is, and that's Jet Jones.
That's him.
The guy's
That's him.
he is a beast in a small package. This next one was passed to Jaden Griffin.
Talking through it.
Here, you know, our philosophy offensively, we want to stretch the field vertically and horizontally. We'll here on the 11-yard line, you know, we try to stretch it horizontally here. You know, we have option of handing the ball inside, option throwing it to the left, option throwing it to the right, depending on who comes. Well, you know, Brandon does a good job of reading the defense and seeing that he has more room and a softer coverage to our left. And so he throws the ball out here just on a spot pass to Jaden, and you can watch Dylan right there just manhandle the corner, and Jaden does the rest right there, and that's on their best football player, number 2. So that was, I mean, when you can do that to a team, and especially against their best football player, kind of demoralizes them. That was a good execution all around right there in that play. So
we're going to go back to Tommy on this one. This is Rowan. He's leading the team in interceptions this year. He picked, I guess this is number 7 maybe, or
6 or 7.
Yeah, somewhere in there. So
he's a ball hawk.
He is.
We try to keep him in the middle of the field as much as we can, just because he reads the quarterback so well and has great sense of where the ball is being thrown. But this is just unbelievable effort. I mean, I didn't even know the ball was intercepted. I knew it got deflected, but as soon as it got deflected and he dove and laid out for it, I mean, that's just unbelievable effort. I mean, unbelievable. So
that'll be one for the highlight.
Oh, no doubt.
There,
no doubt.
That was awesome. So that was diving interception. Next one is Jet Jones. We just talked about bringing pressure.
Okay, I may have put in an extra offensive one here.
Well, let's just see what this one is.
This one is to Mason. Yeah, this one, watch up here at the top. No, I take that back. This is Brandon Scramble. Yeah, and he makes like 6 guys miss here. Watch this here. Amazing job. Gets up inside. 1, 2, 3, 4 into the end zone.
He's been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, yeah. That was him.
Yeah.
That was just Brandon on that one.
Brandon being Brandon.
Yeah.
Let's see if this next one might be the Jet Jones.
I think it is. All right. I'll move it up. Yeah, here's Jet.
yeah, this is again, Jet was the big spy guy, spying the quarterback, and with the motion he gets a little bump over. But and not that he's not fast, he just looks extremely fast. I mean, he sucked that dude up in a heartbeat. But that's just the kind of kid he is. You ask him to make a play on a much better athlete, he's gonna get it done. Whatever's got to do, he's smart enough and wants to do the job so bad that he's going to do what it takes to get the job done.
All right, so I waited to say this guy's name until this next play that we're going to watch. But boy, I thought your ends did a great job. Matt Burton, my gosh, what a beast. He's strong every game.
Mm-hmm.
He's a force. He reminds me, watching him is like watching Mac from Gladewater about 5 or 6 years ago. You remember this kid?
Mm-hmm.
He's like that. He's devastating. Nobody can block him.
Yeah, I always think of DeMarco. He has that
Yes.
DeMarco
Yeah.
look to him and the quickness that DeMarco had.
Having those 2 guys on the outside, Luke and Matt, has been a good combination. So let's take a look at this. This is Matt getting a sack.
Again, he's very smart, with knowing the sets and knowing stances and things like that, and unbelievable get off. And we talked all week about, you don't really want to get past the quarterback, but in our 4-man front, he's got more guys to help him out that he can flush him into. And his effort here, most people just went, all right, I'm past the quarterback, I'm going to give up on the ball. But he keeps running his hip and comes back inside. He's so smart football-wise. He's just unbelievable. But, going into it, we had Luke was a vital part. When he went out the 18th play, Jerron Choice played 56 snaps and made 8 tackles.
Yeah.
So what goes unnoticed is how good that dude played.
Choice played extremely well.
So very pleased with how we kept the edge and the pressure that we put on him from Matthew and all those other guys as well.
So the last play is just a fade route to Mason Hurt, who had a good game.
Sure
blocked
did.
well,
Mm-hmm.
caught the ball well, did a good job.
Talk it through.
Well, here we saw that they've been playing this cover 2 all night, and they ended up putting number 2 over to Dylan's side, and we knew their corners were going to jump, and when we called this, as a matter of fact, I think it was Coach Johnson was like, hey, we just need to go throw Fred,
Mm-hmm.
or it might have been Coach Nice, and because they were seeing certain things. Well, we were thinking, okay, surely Brandon's going to throw it away from number 2 because he's doubling over Dylan, but Dylan's our best receiver there, and he makes a really good decision, and they do what they've shown, and the corner bit and the safety bit, and
Wide open.
just wide open.
Wide open.
That was
So-
a good job of, Brandon being the signal caller and decision maker that he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, he has really grown, boy. It's been fun to
Mhm.
watch him this year. So, guys, 4 left. Feels good. Feels like where we ought to be. I always
Feels
tell
like
him every year, man, that's the new standard, right?
That's right.
So, 14 years in a row, 3 deep in the playoffs. I'm not sure how many 4 deep.
I think they said 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
4
And
deep.
then, but going to the semifinals, a big deal. So, we got a good team. We thought we were going to have Salina. We were already calling that one until the last 20 seconds of the game. It's kind of like how we ended up with these guys, right? Last minute win, last second win. And so, I understand. I showed you Kurt Traylor sent me a picture of the big running back. I guess you've probably seen some video
he's
now.
very talented. He's a big, strong guy.
He's a strong guy.
Yeah, he is.
So what are we looking at from Graham?
Very talented on offense. Quarterback's really good. Of course, the running back is the guy because he'll go out and play receiver. They'll put another running back in, just put him out at receiver. So he's very talented. Can catch the ball, run the ball hard. They're going to give you 20 personnel, 10 personnel, and Cinco personnel all on the same look. So we're going to have to be really locked in, be able to stop the run, and then play some coverages that are going to be like last week, confuse them and give them some different looks with 3-man and 4-man, and be physical. We got to win the line of scrimmage. That's the main thing. But we're going to focus on them and know that if we don't get this job done, it ain't going to matter about the next week. So we will get this taken care of, but it's going to be, we're going to be on like we've been, and it's going to take every bit of what we got.
Tell them a little bit about the defense.
Defense, they're well coached. They're where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. They're big, they're strong kids. They're pretty physical. They got a good defensive lineman. They got good linebackers. I feel like that, what we've been doing is, whatever the defense gives us, we're going to take it. And, yes, we have a quarterback that can throw it, and we got some receivers that can run deep and catch it. But we do have offensive line and some running backs that can make you pay in the run game. And so we're really going to focus on doing our job, and whatever they give us, we're going to take it. And, we got to go be the initiator again. We've got to be the one that's the hammer.
For us, we talked in our staff meeting, our focus this week, a lot of people here, they tend to think, well, Carthage, that kind of thing. And I get it because we're in East Texas and so everybody's aware of them and we played them this year and so forth. But it's Graham. They're a very good team. This is something they do normally. They go deep, year after year after
We've seen
year.
them before.
Absolutely, 2012. So, they're used to being successful. And we understand, we do, that this is a really good opponent. So we've got to lock in and bring the kind of energy, the kind of focus that we did last week. And then, the future will be the future. But right now, we are locked in for Friday night.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the Buckeyes bring the energy they brought right there, I like our chances a lot. And Coach Metzel is guaranteed a 28-point margin of victory, and I want to thank you for that ahead of time. Actually, he didn't. He never gives me any predictions ever. He's not a lot of fun to do this with. But maybe next year we'll get him out of his shell.
Probably not.
Guys, thanks for what you do. Not only on the field, thanks for what you do for these kids down here, because we understand that program and how it works, and that's the most important thing, right?
It is.
Football is just what we do to teach boys to become men.
That's right.
And I'll tell you what, I love this football team. I've said this a lot over the years, but I really do. I think Todd and I both agree this is probably our favorite team. That's saying a lot, because I loved
tons of them.
A lot of those teams, but this team is special. And no matter what happens from here on out, this team is special. And they got a great group of kids. And we got a bright future ahead, because we got a whole bunch of really talented young ones. So I know you guys are excited about that too. So here's what I need you to do, Buckeye fans. You guys traveled so well all the way to Commerce, Texas.
Awesome.
You got to go just a little further this time. We're going to Prosper, Texas. Beautiful stadium.
One of the best in the country.
You're going to want to go see just the stadium itself, but you're going to see a great football game. This is round 5. There's only 4 teams left, so this is going to be a great game. So if there's any way you can, please bring those noisemakers. A lot of you guys made some really annoying noisemakers. And they were great. They almost drowned out the Dodd family, which was just fantastic for everybody in town. And Ben and Joe had a really good time during this game. They really had fun, and we had fun at their expense, like we always do. But bring your noisemakers, bring your family, fill up the stadiums. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun in a beautiful stadium. You're going to see some great football. So we need you guys to travel. If you don't travel, be watching our Facebook pages this week, all the social media pages we normally post on. We'll let you know exactly how you can watch the game this week, because it changes from week to week. It's not our fault. They buy our games out, and so we can't really tell you exactly what's going to happen yet. We will be broadcasting, I can tell you this, on Channel 1 and 601 on eText, and then GilmerBuckeyes.com. So we'll have audio going there. Not sure what we're going to do on the video stream. They had some more problems this week on video stream. The folks that bought it out, I understand. So we're doing the best we can for you, though. So come travel. Come be there in person and yell for the Buckeyes. They need you. The whole town needs to show up. But if you don't, you can listen to us, and we'll bring it to you. Coaches, thank you. Have a great week of practice this week, and thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on Friday. Prosper.